All right, welcome to the Explainer. If you're a business leader, there's one question that's always on your mind. What is really holding us back? Well, today we're diving into a pretty radical idea from Fetterman Consultants, and it's this. The problems that keep you up at night, the ones you think are the big ones, they're almost never the real problem.
So let me ask you, if you're running a business, if you're a senior manager, does any of this sound familiar? You know that feeling. You're just stretched to the absolute limit. You're not hitting your financial goals. You're constantly jumping in to solve problems that, honestly, your team should be handling. And that leads to this guilt, right? Guilt for not spending more time with your family. And you know that when you're not around, the quality of service just dips. It all adds up to this nagging feeling that you could be doing so much more. If any of that hits home, you are definitely not alone. But here's the twist. What if all of those things are just symptoms?
And that brings us to the absolute core philosophy of Fetterman Consultants. It's this crucial difference between a symptom and the actual root cause.
So check out this insight from Avi Fetterman himself, something he's figured out over 40 years of doing this. He says the problem a client comes to him with, it's never the real problem. It's just a symptom. It's like they aren't describing the disease. They're just telling you where it hurts. The real issue, the actual source, that's buried way, way deep. Think about it like this. You see a failed sale and you think, that's the problem, but that's just the symptom. The real work, the hard work, is asking, what step did we get wrong before that sale failed? Was it a breakdown in communication, a clunky process, a weak product pitch? See? The failed sale isn't the thing you need to solve. It's the clue that tells you a deeper problem exists.
And what this really means is that just slapping a bandage on it, telling your team to sell harder next time, that's just a recipe for going nowhere fast. Real, lasting change, that only happens when you dig down, find the source, and fix that.
Okay, so that's a really compelling idea, right? But does it actually work? Does it deliver? I mean, if you fix the root cause, what does that actually look like on the bottom line? Let's take a look at the numbers. Okay, take Zemmer Carpets. This was a family-run business, and they just felt stuck. But in just a year and a half of focusing on their real root issues, the results were, well, they were incredible. Across the board, inventory went down by 20%, sales shot up by 33%. And get this, profit doubled. A full 100% increase.
And it can get even more dramatic than that. Look at the furniture company Hotem. Once they started tackling their core operational problems, it just unlocked this explosive growth. We're talking a 400% increase in their scope of activity. And this wasn't just about selling more stuff. It was a total fundamental shift in how they worked with everybody, from their suppliers to their own team.
And this isn't just about some quick short-term win either. We're talking about real sustainable growth. Check out the Stern Group. Over 6.5 years of this quiet, persistent work on their foundations, they expanded their activity by a mind-blowing 500%. That's the power you get when you build on a truly solid foundation. And this kind of growth isn't just some abstract number on a spreadsheet. For the fashion brand Ronan Chen, fixing the core of their business meant real-world expansion. I mean, they went from just 7 stores to 22. So the results are they're undeniable. But how? What's the secret sauce here that unlocks this kind of growth? Well, the answer isn't in some complicated spreadsheet or a fancy data model. It's all about the human factor. This quote from Adi Zebulon, man, it really gets to the heart of it. He compares the whole process to psychology for his business. And he says his only regret was not starting sooner. That tells you everything, right? The work isn't about some consultant coming in and forcing a strategy on you. It's about shifting the leader's own perspective first. This is so true, especially when you've got partners involved. A veteran salesperson shared this incredible insight. He said the consultant didn't even try to fix his partner. Instead, the consultant worked to move him, giving him the tools and the new perspective to then go and move his partner. That's a huge shift, right? It's not about fixing other people. It's about empowering yourself to be the one who creates the change. And ultimately, it all boils down to this one core belief. A successful organization, at its heart, depends entirely on the people who built it. You can't just fix the company's problems without first empowering its leaders to see the world and their business in a totally new way.
So this people-first approach has this long track record of turning companies into leaders in their field. Let's look at a few more of these success stories before we see where all this is being focused today.
I mean, the legacy of this approach is written all across Israeli industry. It's what turned brands like Papaya into retail giants with stores everywhere. It's what took fashion houses like Daniela Lahavi and launched them into the super competitive US market. It transformed companies like TechSign into $40 million exporters. From retail to manufacturing, the results just prove it. Time and again, you fix the human system first.
And today, after all these decades of success, Fetterman Consultants is taking this intense, proven method and pointing it at a very specific area, empowering the leaders of construction and engineering firms. They're applying these exact same principles to help companies like Stern and Zebulon, Duran, navigate the really unique pressures and opportunities in their industry.
And that brings us right back around to you. We've seen how looking past the obvious stuff, the missed sales, the crazy long hours, the teen drama, can totally transform a business from the inside out. So the final question isn't about the problems you can see right there on the surface. It's this: what's the real problem? The one that's hidden deep down, that's truly holding you back.